What is up, YouTube? This is Fortress Striker coming today for another episode of the DBS podcast. Today we have our big special guest here, and we have here is good old Mr. Goober himself, Joe.
Hello. I didn't realize that was special. Hi, everybody.
Yes, right. We also got the returning good old Yeovani.
What's up, Kevin?
I'm doing good. And to a lot of people who know him, he is a former second place winner championship on the Octagon DBS PPG tournament finals, who played Jiren against the dreadful Surge Coup, whatever, cancer is cancer.
On the online tournament,
Mr. Angel himself.
What's up?
So it's all great to see you guys here. How you all doing today?
Not too shabby.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the black reveals, the more buyouts, the direction of the game, all of our thoughts, and the returning to locals and our players' budget or playing casually. So for today, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the black cards. So we're going to start things off in this podcast with the reveals of the starter deck. So let's start ahead and take start. So I'll go ahead and read these cards and their effects, and then I want to hear what you guys' opinions on each of these cards. All right?
You got it.
Alright, so the first card is the leader Vegeta and Trunks Zeno. Permanent, you can only play mono black battle cards. Activate main once per turn, burst 5, draw 1 card. The awakening is when you have 4 or less, or you have 20 or more cards in the drop area, you may draw 1 card, switch up to one of your energies active mode, add cards to your life into your hand until you have 6 cards in your life, and flip this card over. Its awakening is Veg X, the unsung fusion hero. The permanent is the same as it says you only play mono cards. Its second permanent is Sparking 20. If you would lose the game by running out of cards in your deck, shuffle your drop area into your deck instead. Activate main once per turn, draw 1 card, place 5 cards from the top of your deck into the drop area. Then choose up to one of your black Unison cards and it gains double strike for the turn. Alright, so let's go ahead.
Who wants to go first?
Well, first, I guess, let me just say, this card just screws over Janemba, complete and utterly. So I'm sorry for all the Janemba players, but no coming back against this deck.
I mean, I guess you could say that about Cooler too, right?
Yeah. But Cooler has more aggro to it. You have a double striker that comes out every turn for free. You have, basically for free. And then you have your triple striker.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if they just have a deck with just mill, Tuesday, so that's why I was like, oh.
So what Gio once said, that this card is basically the light sworns of DBS right now.
I feel that way. It's a really good leader. We're gonna talk about the starter deck cards, but like I feel there are 4 of in the deck because like you're just playing stuff for free off the burst. It doesn't get better than that.
Okay. Joe, what are your thoughts on this leader?
Oh, there you go. So, just as a whole, before I even dive into this leader specifically, all 3 starter decks that are coming out with set 10 all have relatively close, if not there, competitive play potential. So just to go with this leader, so we already knew about the U3 engine, and obviously we all know about Overwhelm from start of the game. So this is a deck that obviously turbos its support by being able to burst 5. You constructing this deck, especially before you go through the actual starter deck support in itself, just the U3 aggros, just to go back to that, it's just being able to just easily see these cards and having an easy way to put them in the drop without them having to go to the bottom of the deck. Plus, you can play all, for instance, you can only play mono black battle cards, but you still have the option of running, the Saiyan Instinct Son Goku to draw 2. There's a new Boo card that has interaction with the discard pile, like the amount of things that like now currently are able to interact from the discard pile just automatically shine in this leader because you have such a easy way of fueling your discard, and you just see so many cards. And then on the other, like just before I even get to the backside, like your Awaken is you could potentially net 3 cards to your hand if you protect your life, and in which case it still helps the strategy that this leader is promoting because you want to put cards in your drop area. So you just protect your life for three turns, maybe 4, because you're milling 5 each of your ability, and you don't even have to swing to get that ability. So you're not giving your opponent any advantage either. So to me, this leader is very strong, has a lot of potential coming up in set 10.
Alright, that's a really good answer to talk about. Alright, so let's go ahead and straight to the next card. So the Unison of the deck is Super Saiyan Gotenks Fusion of Friendship. Auto effect, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill and you don't have a Unison card in play, you may play this card from your drop area with a marker on it. +2 marker, activate main, choose 1 card in your hand and discard it. This card gets 10,000 power for the turn. -4, activate main, this card gets plus 20,000 power and dual attack for the turn.
I'm gonna go first. This card is free. Literally, you can play this card for free. And Unisons are almost uninteractable outside of attacking them for the time being. So, for you to have a free Unison that has a +2, so like if you get it out like by milling or whatever the case may be, it's already at 3, so you already need to dedicate 3 damage to it to get rid of it. The +1 is good for black. The +2 is good for black strategies, like just fueling the drop. Like if you're the Bippy leader that's trying to put Boo pieces in the drop, or like the Veg X leader, or the Migra, like it has utility with that. And then -4 is just a 25k dual attacking beater. I just hate his name. I hate that he's called Fusion of Friendship. Outside of that, the card is good.
Alright, Angel?
You know what? The thing about the Gotenks for me is that it's a very unique Unison. In a way that it comes out for free. That's something that really intrigues me about it. It is like restricted kind of to the leader, but the fact that it's just a free Unison, we're going to talk about it later on, but it's also interesting that the black cards, since they don't have a specified cost, they're the only Unison cards to come out like turn 1. Besides the Demigirl. For basically anything. It's just a small input of mine. I don't have much to say on this card.
Okay, Gio?
Yeah, I agree with Joe. It's really strong, giving out for free. It's a 4-of in this deck. Like, you really want to mill it, play it for free. You know, drop a usury guy into your grave, +2 the Unison. It's just so much value that you're getting. Yeah, it's really good, and he could become a dual attack double striker off the leader, so yeah, I thought it was cool too.
Alright, I actually didn't notice it was a 5,000 power. I thought it would said 15, but I think that's fair because obviously the fact that if it said 15, then this card would have been a little bit more busted because it just keeps adding more power to it. I do like the fact that with the +2 activate main, you could do it as many times you want, although you don't want to discard so many times. So it does have like small condition, which is fine because sometimes like you don't want to keep a card in your hand that's like useful, or just want to go ahead and save those cards in the drop area so that you can activate their effects when they're in the warp, or like the upcoming card that we're going to talk about, which is a card that a friend of ours love, and you can use it.
But the thing is the Unison can only activate their effects once per turn.
Oh, okay, then
So you really do it.
Oh, well, that's fair though.
Yeah, any marker ability is once a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there are some units that have like an auto or another activate main, like the Vegeta from the U11 expansion thing. Like he has a once a turn like activate main. That's not a marker ability.
All right, that's fine. That's fine because we're all learning about Unison more, and some of us, like me, just got a little confused there. But you guys are always clear about it, so that's cool. Okay, so let's go straight to the next card. It's Time Agent Vegeta. Unique. Permanent. If this card would be removed from your battle area, it's sent to its owner's warp instead. Auto. If your leader card is a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area. Activate battle once per turn with an energy cost of 2. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or less and send it to its owner's warp.
More free stuff.
Yeah.
If this thing wasn't unique, it'd be very overpowered. Has a very good activate battle.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
By making it unique. Like, it's a 4-of. Like, you're playing.
I mean, it's like it's supposed to be exclusive to this leader, but you could also put this in Mesa and then still get the free effect. It just doesn't work for like the Migro and Mira, who also mill themselves.
Yeah. Well, at least Messane could play the VR easily now.
Well, that is true.
I could see like a lot of Mass Saiyan support coming back now.
I never want to see that lead. I really never want to see that leader again, but that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
What? Mass Saiyan isn't that strong of a leader, though.
No. Set 3 Messane. The original.
No. I know. The one that gets crit.
I mean, it was. I don't want to have it have a resurgence. Is really where I'm at.
Okay.
Alright, anyway, let's move on. We got this. We got a whole bunch of cards to go through.
That's true. Alright, so the next card is Time Agent Trunks, another unique. This time it's a blocker. It has 2 autos. The first one is when this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. The second, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area.
Now, if you guys don't mind me starting this one off.
Have at it.
Okay.
Like, I just think that the cards they are getting is pretty ridiculous with all the free summoning, especially with the U. I know you guys are talking about the U3 stuff, but getting a free block, in my opinion, is a little too much. Just for the fact of during your opponent's turn, if you have anything to mill, you get a free card just to defend yourself in. That's my input. I don't like free blockers for any deck because it's just another annoyance to get over.
I mean, that is true. I mean, like, there's not that many leaders that could have a free blocker. Like, set 2 Trunks with Mai, Universe 7 Gohan with Videl, Lord Slug has a free blocker. But there's not so many decks that could actually produce a free blocker like this. I think it's neat.
Yeah, it's falls to the same category. It's also like with all even like with the battle card for Shanks, like it's just still the free Trunks Xeno, and it is a free blocker. The fact that you don't have to take the life also beneficial, depending on like your game state. I mean, free blocker, it's free, it's for me. Everything in the starter deck, I'm just gonna give like a thumbs up to.
Yeah, they're 4-0s in this deck, but I am gonna talk about a neat combo I found with one of the cards bought out yesterday or today.
Okay.
As well, but like, do you guys think the actual chain is worth running?
The Veg X chain?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, like but there has to be testing involved for me to like say like, yeah, this doesn't work. But like just from the other black cards available, like it seems weak in comparison to those.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the final card, and that is Supreme Kai of Time, Guardian of Space-Time. 2 autos. First one is if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, when this card is used in a combo, this card gets a plus 5,000 combo for power for the battle. Second auto, if your leader card is a Black Saiyan card, when this card is placed in your drop area from your deck by a skill, you may play this card from your drop area.
It's a free super combo.
It's pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. It probably is the least strong card in this starter deck, but it's still strong.
Yeah. Just, especially with black where you have a small hand anyways, you get this card out for free. And it's not unique either, so you can just have multiple.
Wait, what?
Oh, did I disconnect?
Oh, was that me?
Yeah, it was you.
Oh,
Because
what?
I came back into the call.
Oh,
Didn't hear anything.
Oh, I am so sorry, guys. I don't know what happened because I just got that message from you. Oh, don't worry. I'll cut this part off in the video. So continue, Angel.
I was just saying that you can just have multiples of these because it doesn't have unique.
Oh, okay. Gia, what are your thoughts on this card?
Which one are we on now?
The Supreme Kaya time.
Oh, you didn't hear that?
Oh, no, I didn't hear that, but I have my thoughts real quick. Getting a 0 free plus 10k is always good. So yeah, there's that.
Okay.
Like all the the starter deck cards, like these are all like 4-0s in the deck. It's like they're all free value. You get insane value returns off of them. I just kind of wish like the actual chain that they kind of were like promoting was a little bit better. Like that was like my whole thing. Like when I saw like there was a Toa SR and some other stuff. Like I thought like some of the SRs were gonna be part of the chain. It's kind of like a letdown. They just left it there how it is.
Well, they did say for the future sets within the Unison Warrior block, they were going to give support to the 3 starter decks. So maybe they just kind of like wanted to gear it towards like what was in the set as opposed to the start, and they just put them in later sets. But I do understand like what you're saying. Like it should have gotten something because kind of like the other 2 did also. Like Frieza got like the 5-drop SR, and Vegeta got Trunks, who we don't talk about.
I mean, Vegeta also got that Gotenks Unison. That's really good for cast.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing though, in my opinion. Reading this card again, I don't like the idea that even though it's a free super combo, you have to have like 5 or less cards in your hand to resolve. So it kind of kills the buzz out of it.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, you have to be kind of low on cards, but like for instance, like Bibbidi, like always has 5 cards in his hand.
Yeah,
and
but
granted,
at the same time, like it's okay. Maybe like another black if you just only main the first effect, but I don't know. Maybe if you want to try using the second effect, I guess Bibbidi's not the right choice anyway, since it does require the Black Saiyan card.
Well, I mean, this deck doesn't have the greatest of hand sizes at times, so like it's not going to be uncommon that you actually get to trigger that. So you know, like there are some builds that they're running like the head draw 2A but the boo and drawing their whole deck, but like, and like in their U3 variant, I don't think your hand's going to be incredibly big, so it could happen. Good trigger.
Alright, so let's finally go ahead into the booster box set, but before we do, let's hear your guys' opinion. So this entire starter deck here, what are your thoughts? Like, is it a good, bad, it's okay, like, and is it better than the blue set?
Ooh.
is this starter better than the blue one?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
Yes.
Okay, what? And
as a strategy, yes. Like card value wise, I don't know. I would say they're equal because
They're close.
Yeah,
It's really close.
it might have to
Like-
deal with like player preference, but like the way the starter deck support the leader in the black one is a lot more like noticeable than the ones in the blue starter, because those are just like grab Unison. Like the Vegeta's very good. The Goku is also okay, but like you have the double strike Vegeta in the actual set, which is better outside of the fact that Goku, if it leaves, can go find a Unison. Um, and the Gogeta Unison is probably overall better than the Gotenks Unison, because the Gotenks Unison really only works with like those strategies. So like it's a toss up. Like it really just depends.
Okay.
I think they're pretty close.
Okay. Gio, you're the
I
one.
wouldn't say one is
I
like
agree.
noticeably better than the other one.
I mean, they're both better than the Frieza one, though.
They are both better than the Frieza one.
That
I will give it that.
I had to agree with that. I admit the Frieza, it sadly enough was not going to be as big as I think, but yeah, you know, in the end, I'm still care for that set more. But agreeable. It's not going to be. Its Frieza's not going to be as strong for like these other two do, because these two have already shown how powerful they are for the game. So I'm guessing right now green at this point, like maybe. Well, when we read the black cards, I'm just wondering like the difference, but maybe perhaps like black maybe overrun green, but you know we'll see to that point when we read the booster box cards. But in the structure deck, yeah. But in rating between black and blue, it's a little tricky for me. So I don't know like which is strong, but I'd rather hear you guys' opinion because you can make more sense for this conversation than I would. So I know Gio, you were very hyped for black for a long time, and honestly, you told me that you were very more hyped with this than the blue. So let's just hear your reason.
Was that to me?
Yes.
Okay, because you cut off.
Oh god.
I'm hyped for this because it gives us a unique deck with like a unique character that'll be pretty cool. You could build it in different ways. There's at least 5-6 different unique ways you could build this. So I'm pretty hyped that they're giving us like something that's not super generic, super linear. Like we could build it a lot of ways. It's not like here you go, I'm giving you a cookie cutter. You just gotta fill in the rest. So I'm pretty hyped. And it seems really aggressive with the U3 guys. So you know me, I like all the aggressive decks in the world. So.
Wait, you're saying you're not a control player?
Don't
Don't answer that. Please don't answer that.
No. But anyway, I don't. There's very few slow decks I like. So yeah, we'll say that. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm hyped for this. You know, me and Noel are hyped. Who was supposed to be here. So, you know, it's good because like the thing is what I do like what you mentioned. They're gonna keep supporting the 3 decks. So even if it's just like really good now, it could be better the next set. So that's also another thing to look out for.
Okay. Angel, what are your thoughts on the black set?
For starter deck wise, I do think they're all going to be powerful. I do see that, like comparing the black and the blue, for me it's hard to do without. I haven't seen any test play of any of the decks. I haven't really looked into it as much as I should have. But I was going to be a fan of the blue side. And as for meta changing and impacts for these cards, it's still hard for me to tell. Like, because I know black aggro is just benefiting a lot off of all the black cards. You're getting a lot of free stuff from all this. You might black aggro just might switch from Bibbidi to just Veg X, just because you have access to these 3 cards. That's my opinion on that.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the set from the booster box. So in this one, for many people are wondering that there is no leader shown right now in the booster box, but I'm hearing now that they are going to reveal the next leader, but like I'm hearing that it's now going to be revealed from like a reprint, I believe, with like with better effects. So I don't know what it is. Some say it's that the other character that you know me and Joe have a hard time pronouncing, but we'll get to that point. So right now, let's go ahead and talk about the cards. So we have the Shenron Unison of Rescue. So at permanent, this card can attack, and it will lose a marker from an attack. You may place 1 card from your life in your drop area instead. And it has 3 sets of marks. The first one is a +1 activate main. You may choose one of your skill list battle cards. If you do, that card gains double strike for the turn, then draw a card. Its second costs 0. Activate main. If you have no skillless battle card in play, play one skillless battle card with energy cost of 2 or less from your drop area. The third is a -7. Activate main. Play all skillless battle cards from your drop area.
Okay. This card is a fun card.
It brought back Kiku.
Yes, it did. What's
Yeah.
weird? What's weird is to me is that they did the Universe Elite 4 was all the red weenie stuff, and funny enough, now that I'm thinking about it, the Shenron doesn't really synergize with the 1-drops and the skillless battle cards because you lose out on a lot of combo potential with those battle cards. I'm not so sure if it's the same with Kid Ku, because Kid Ku, if I'm not mistaken, they don't really have access to Pan and TN since they're playing 2 and 3 drops. Is that correct?
I'm gonna pass that question on to Giovia because I don't know.
Which pan are you talking about? The green one?
No, the yellow pan that says you can give skillless battle card blocker, or give, if it's 10,000 power, you give it 5k in crit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
no,
this card,
play that.
yeah, this card doesn't synergize with that when you think about it, because it gives it double strike before a combo step.
Yeah, and then they aren't vanillas anymore if you do that.
Correct.
So
So
you can't 4-star ball combo onto it for like 10k.
correct.
Which is also relevant. So I think it's really neat. It's like I don't know why we got legacy support for skillless, but I'm happy. I'll take it. Pretty much.
I mean, I'm sure there's something with this Unison that like we haven't figured out yet, but like it's also very hard to remove. It as a self-awakening tool. Granted, the life goes in your drop, but it still self-awakens, and the +1 still draws you a card because you don't even have to choose the battle card. You just get the draw.
Well,
So +1 draw card.
There is a neat combo that I was talking about. That like with one of the cards that got bought out. But like the Shenron Unison also helps that play too.
Yeah.
For example, I guess I'll say it now and then talk about Vegeta's reluctant reinforcements after. But so what you need is it's a 1-card combo from your hand for 2 mana. You overwhelm for the Trunks Descendant Elite. He summons Vegeta reluctant reinforcements from your deck, and if so happens you comboed or the Shenron put Commander Red in your drop area, he summons Commander Red, which Commander Red summons a 30k vanilla from the deck, and you've got 4 battle cards on your field for 2 mana.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah.
More free stuff.
Yeah.
Basically.
Another thing with this Shenron that I see is you should be able to play it with the new Trunks leader in order for that way, if the cards don't go to your drop area, they go to your hand.
That is true.
Okay.
But I think that only works on your opponent's turn, which is literally what this is. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so you just run that with the Trunks leader, and now you have basically a way to kind of guarantee a self-awakening while plussing cards in your hand. Unless your opponent opts not to attack the Shenron.
Yeah, in which case they'll just attack your leader, and it's the same thing anyway.
Correct.
Okay. So let's go to the next card. Now this is Noel's ultimate card, and this is a huge game changer that a lot of people are going to spend a lot of money on. Majin Buu Wickedness Incarnate. Activate main with 1 energy. If your leader card is black, all of your energy is black, and you send this card from your drop area to your warp, you can't activate the activate main skill on copies of this card for the turn. At the end of the turn, you may choose 1 black card in your hand and discard it. If you do, draw 2 cards.
So this could have had no text, and this still would have been Noel's favorite card. That's just,
You're not wrong.
I know. But this is a budget Saiyan Instincts. And it's unfortunate that it only works with black leaders. However, it's still a budget Saiyan Instinct if you go into playing any black leader. It's still very good. Graveyard effects, and there is no answers to activate mains as of now. So, yeah, this is a good card.
It's basically the Grade 8 Goku replacement. It's pretty good. Do like how it only pays 1 energy less than it does, and it also
for mono black.
It's perfect for mono black too as well. I mean, honestly, like besides its own restrict, I think it's a good restrict. This is like the one card I could say it's really good, for like only made for the black cards, and it's gonna work well for the Bibbidi decks. Most of them anyway, since all they do is like to drop cards, draw, drop cards, draw. That's all it does, and
Well, you can end your turn on 6 cards instead of 5 now if you play this card with the Boo Chain. So yeah, that's and you can drop even if you're playing this in the Bibbidi deck, or if you're playing it with the new Xeno, Vegeta, and Trunks. Whenever you could drop a U3 guy to your drop as a discard for it, so it's a really good card. And if you're playing the Boo Chain Boo version, you can get rid of a Boo Chain that you're missing, or you don't want in your hand. You can also pitch it to a drop with it.
Okay. Angel, what do you think?
It's a unique card, but it's not. Personally, it's not my forte. I don't like it too much because it's 4 mana to pull it out. All in. I'm thinking that I had to do placements out.
No, it just has to be milled.
Milled, comboed, somehow discarded.
Right. Yeah, it's still not my thing because it does require you to be mono black everywhere, and it only it cycles more so, but it does plus you 1 as opposed to 8 plusing you 2. But I don't see it being that big of an impact with the meta.
Okay.
Let's wrap up the black cards and move on to the other stuff.
Yeah.
We're already 30 minutes.
Yep. We're trying to reach the certain time limit. So let's go ahead and just talk about some of the most important cards in the set, since we don't want to go ahead and just around the time. So, okay, guys. So I'm going to be talking about the Bardock Resolute and the Son Goku Power of Legend, since we're just running out of time. So the Bardock, what it does is a double strike unique, and it has 2 autos. The first one is if your leader card is red, when your opponent's life is added to their hand or placed in their drop area by a skill, you may play this card from your hand. The second auto is once per turn when your opponent activates a counter skill, switch this card to active mode. The Goku effect is a critical unique. If your leader card is green, when one of your card skills makes an opponent discard a card, you may play this card from your hand. Activate main, send this card to its owner's warp, and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 4 or less and send it to its owner's warp.
So, out of the 4 color cycle, these 2 are the strongest. I could be wrong. You might have to check a ruling on this, but I believe with Bardock, if you are hit with double strike or triple strike, this triggers because you taking the extra life is a skill. Because allegedly with crit, that counts as a skill as well. So you might be able to play him on that, but do not quote me. I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, I heard this. And said, no, good, just check. But this is more geared towards the 4-drop Gogeta that with Alliance burns the mono red Nappa from 2 sets ago, maybe, I don't remember. But when you play him, you burn a life, things like that. So these are also free battle cards. Granted, they have no combo power, but the fact that Bardock can just eat a negate and just restand is really good. And this Goku is free removal. Granted, you can't play another copy, but it's...
Yeah, they're both really good. I think that's good. But
yeah.
Okay. Alright. Angel, you got that?
Yep.
All right. So let's go straight forward. I'm just gonna go straight down, and we do have the Veg X cards, but you guys did say that the Veg X evolution thing, it didn't work. It's.
I mean, yeah, they're cute. Like one's a removal when it attacks, so, like that's pretty neat, and the other one is like you still pay 3 for a 25k double striker when you can literally pay nothing for a 25k double striker. It just doesn't seem like it fits a slot. Plus, you're losing 2 battle cards in the process.
Yeah, we need to see more. Hopefully they support it and they give it something.
Okay. So let's see. Alright, so the next card we're going to talk about is the Toa Twisted Sister. Counterplay, play this card. Auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card, then shuffle up to 1 card from your opponent's drop area into their deck.
Neat. I'll give it a rating of neat. I don't know if it's like, it depends. Like it could be viable depending on how many graveyard strategies are around, but I don't know. It doesn't.
I think it's underwhelming.
If she costed 2 and reduced her cost because of like Xeno Evolve purposes, because I know there's a promo and like the premium pack thing that evolves over 2 drops. So that would have been cool, but it's still like a 1 drop that you get to cycle, because you basically play to draw a card and you get to kind of disrupt like a Saiyan Instincts or a Ribrianne.
Okay, Gio, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, anything to combat all these graveyard effects. They're giving us more options with this, Burning Impact. You know, it's cool. It's nice to have options because you can really interact with the drop area before. I like it.
Okay. Angel?
I still think it's rather underwhelming for it to be considered an SR. Like, it should have done a little bit more, in my opinion. Like, with the counterplay itself, there should have been something to it. Like,
that goes back to like we're gonna get SRs as box toppers, so like SRs are gonna be a little bit more common. So I can understand for it to be underwhelming if we're just gonna get more of them.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's still like, eh. I mean, there was one play pointed out earlier that it can disrupt Shenron, where it shuffles the Dragon Ball back into their deck, but I mean, I don't find it being more so as a staple, more so as a filler card for if you need to fill your deck with the cards, and it's just a free draw.
I mean, to disrupt Shenron, you'd have to play it on the last ball to shuffle 1 back, because they'll just search them out again. Like, it puts them back a turn.
Right. But it's still, like, it's still an extra turn you might be able to grab.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go ahead and to the next card. We're going to be talking about is the best card in my perspective, because I enjoy this card, and a lot of people are loving this card too. It's the Mickey Kabura, the Broken Seal. That's right, the Prohibition. Deflect. Auto, when this card is played, declare an original energy cost and character name until the end of your opponent's next turn. Your opponent can play cards with both the declared character name and original energy cost, and you can't play copies of this card during your next turn. Activate main once per turn, add up to 1 Dark Dragon Ball card from your deck to your hand, then shuffle your deck.
It gets the green Dragon Ball. I'm excited.
Yeah, Frieza playing this card.
Freeze attack. I mean, like, it gets around Topo. I think it gets around super combos. I'm not really sure if it does, like, that. I don't know if combo cards are considered played. I don't know if it means, like, playing it as a battle card, but there's gonna be a whole long Q&A for this card. I can foresee it. Like, the effect is neat. It can be helpful. It also will cause a lot of miscommunication, because it's not like you just have like Son Gohan you have Son Gohan's enter age group here, and Xeno versions and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know. I have to like really see it played to know it's like like the true impact it'll have. Because like reading it, I'm just like I'm not really impressed, but I can see the other side of it. I can see the counter argument where it can like really get in the way of like a player's play line.
No, that's agreeable. I really
I really think that oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. I was just gonna say I think Invoker is like the best deck that makes use of this card. Because like they leader effect, they make you discard one. You look at their hand and then you prohibition the other card in their hand so they can't play it. So just wanted to say that real quick.
Well, just to counter that, like why wouldn't you just discard? Like yeah, you can get rid of like negates and whatnot and like stop the battle card with that, but at the end of the day, like wouldn't you just take the battle card instead and not have to worry about it like the second turn after?
So you get rid of the big threat and then you prohibition the one that you can't get rid of.
So
right,
you can actually like prevent the 7-drop Gogeta from doing its stupid plays that people were complaining about for a long time. That they'd
that's
say,
true. You just
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind paying
actually,
two for
thinking about it, this card is finally maybe the result that can finally end the whole Turles thing. Like, I think this is what Bandai wanted to do. Like, instead of banning and limiting cards, this is like the result. This card is basically the main result to help prevent the game to go even crazy and people complain about, I don't want this card going out because it's too much. It's disrupting the play. Oh, it's actually killing me and I can't do anything. But this card is actually the balance of the game. I actually like this card. I think maybe you could just main just one and then side deck a couple, or just you could side deck it. Like it doesn't matter how it results, but like its idea is to help make sure that your opponent doesn't go and do these crazy plays and try to kill you out and like within turns 2 or 3, or like maybe even on the first turn. Like it depends. Because that's pretty much the game has been through so much changes and its fast-paced results basically led a lot of people to do like either like rage quit or just like take a break for a while and try to see maybe they wait for the right card to come out, and this is basically the answer. This card just helps the game to disrupt from stupid plays and people from whining all the time about what card should be limited or rata or banned.
Right. I see your point there, but when you say it like that, the only cards that come to my mind is Shugesh and Cronoa. They started printing out Cronoa, and they actually tried doing it with Dende too. With set 5 is they were complaining about SS3, so they printed out. Their response was Forced Ejection, Black Mass Saiyan, and Dende, and yet those cards they weren't able to do their job per se, hence why SS3 still got banned, Shugesh was still banned. That was just from the way you said it. My opinion on this card is that it's going to be able to stop the secret rares coming out from turn 5s. So I see this card being played turn 5 against Cell Xeno, Black Smoke Dragon, those cards, and whatever the new secret rare is going to be.
Doesn't Cronoa come in the starter deck?
Yeah, I think so, but at that point it's just a 1-mana draw card. The other thing about this card is like this is not a new player friendly card. Like anyone that wants to get into the game, like pulling this is not like an attractive card to like pull because like we're 10 sets in. This is a very like complex card. Like the design of it for like to even like gear towards new players, especially like if they're trying to do like a reset button, because like now they're kind of like going back to mono colors and whatnot. Like this card is strictly for like seasoned players. Like so, I don't know. Like I'm still kind of like on the fence with this, but leaning more towards the side. Like I'm not a fan, but I also have not played with it to be like, oh, this is bonkers. But I do agree with Angel with the like it is a good answer for non-blue decks for like turn 2 Cell Xeno and stuff like that, just to kind of buy you time.
All right. Okay. So let's just go ahead to the last final two cards we're gonna just talk about. It's just the extra cards. So the first one is Burning Impact. Counterattack, shuffle 2 battle cards from your opponent's drop area into their deck. Permanent, if you have a Unison card in play, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. And the
I'm
second...
confused at why this doesn't negate the attack. Like, I like the ability that it messes with the drop area, but this could have just negated the attack based on like the other free negates that green and blue got. Like
the green negate doesn't negate even.
Well, it could if it swings with a 2-drop.
It's the after image, that's why.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, and
but still, I'm still kind of I feel like this card should have negated the attack.
I mean, that would have been nice. It's just like I was saying, like they want to just limit you abusing the graveyard drop area.
I mean it's fine. Like it's definitely a good sideboard card. If like for graveyard based decks.
That's true.
I see it used against Boo.
Oh, that is true.
Alright, so last one.
Okay, it's Time Bullet, counterplay. If you have a Unison card in play, if the battle card being played has an energy cost of 2 or less, it's sent to its owner's warp instead of being played. Permanent, you can activate this card's counter skill from your hand without paying its energy cost by choosing 2 other cards in your hand and discard them.
This is probably like it just falls in the category of the other ones, but like the other free things that discards too. I mean, I don't remember the cost of the other ones, but I think they're greater than 2, so I guess this one makes this the weakest out of the 3 that have been revealed so far. But
it gives us another option. That's the way I look at it.
No, yeah, that's true.
It's generic, which is good. So it can just go in anywhere that you use a Unison card.
I mean, we are like I don't see why you wouldn't not use Unison from set time.
Well, that too, but like at that point, like you would just use your leader, like your color-based leader one, like for instance. No, I'm terrible at searching for things. Where are you?
Alright.
Like the Goku Black one bounces 4 or less. It will puts it to the bottom of the deck. If you have a blue Unison card in play, you draw a card, and the battle card being played that's then cost 4, it goes to the bottom. Like the black one's only 2 costs, so.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I think the green one has a 4 drop also.
I mean, it does its job. So I'm gonna do the buyouts real quick, very quickly, since I want to get
to the point.
Noel's opinion here.
Okay. I was gonna tell you like we have like 1 card left, so if that's okay with you guys. Okay. And that's the promo Toa Dark Sorceress. She has Deflect, Xeno Evolve 1 energy, Toa with an energy cost of 2 or more that isn't a copy of this card. Auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card, then shuffle up to 4 battle cards from your opponent's drop area into their deck.
Black's mirror match shenanigans to mess with their drop area.
Yeah, pretty much. That's like that's all it's really good.
I don't see anyone ever paying 4 for this. I can see people putting in the counterplay revenge blocker tower that costs 2, just to be able to put this on top of it.
You can get like 2 copies of this in the premium set.
That is true.
Yeah, it's a promo.
It's okay.
Okay.
It has Deflect, so like it makes it better, and it messes with the drop area and replaces itself. So can't.
Maybe they'll add something since, you know.
Well, we also don't know the tournament pack cards also, so like that could be a thing. They could be geared towards the starter decks or whatnot. But like,
because they have the guy that absorbed Demiground Toa, so maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll get something that works with this. You know.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. So Gio, you can go ahead and let's talk about the buyouts right now.
Alrighty. Buyout market season. You know, my favorite, least favorite.
What you weren't supposed to do with your stimulus check. Here we are.
Yeah, here we are. So you know, all the U3 guys got bought out. You know, Nigrishi, Viara, Analyze. Analyze is going quick. There's no common Nigrishis on TCG Player, and the foils are like 15. Let's see here. Gogeta SPR got bought out. You know, it's like It's we just buy out all the SPRs at this point. Not a scratch also, pretty much getting bought out. Not a scratch is at $12, approaching 13 on its buyout. So anybody that wanted it for the $7.99, $8 missed the train. Android 21 Violent Predator, no, the normal SR is approaching $10, and the SPR got bought out a couple of days ago. So let me see. I'm going through these pretty quick. Oh, the Vegeta Reluctant Reinforcements that I was talking about. It was 40 cents, and it's about $14 now on GG Player. Hercule and Boo Arrival got bought out. Jiren Army of One. Like a whole bunch of Dropbox 5 stuff got bought out.
Jiren got bought out? I'm impressed.
Yeah. The Unstoppable Ultra Instinct Goku got bought out. It's 140. Rip everybody that did not buy it.
Unstoppable. Wait, which one is that?
The
/ counterplay.
Yeah, Dropbox 4. All the Set 9 iconic rares got bought out. Sell was at 25 at one point. What are you guys doing to our market? I'll never know. But yeah, that's a quick wrap up of everything that got bought out within the last 2 days.
So if I can have a closing statement on buyouts, because it will definitely lead into our next topic, is
Yes.
there's no reason to do this now.
I mean, people are just like, some things make sense, but other things really don't make sense. Because, like, yeah, you're buying for set 10, you're prepping, but like Gogeta SPR, like, was Blue gonna magically play this? Not like, there's some things that just don't make sense. They just get bought out. You know, like Violent Predator, SPR and non-SPR, that makes sense, you know? Because it
Right, like the U3 stuff makes sense. I'll even give not even a scratch, that makes sense.
Well,
So,
I see Gogeta being bought out for the sheer fact that now you're more likely than not going to have the new Gokus and new Vegetas in your hand, because you're going to mana ramp within there. After you finish mana ramping, you're going to have those cards in your hand. So I can see why they're buying that out.
well, the thing is, you could also use the set 6 Vegeta stuff with that, if you don't want to use the stuff from the set where you're ramping. So, like, there's different ways how to play it, and I don't know.
It's still a relatively like old SPR too, so like maybe it's just like scarce now because there's not a lot on the market, but still, like I understand your point. Like there's no real reason to just dive into the market, but like all the DB5 stuff should come down once the second wave releases in a couple of weeks. Which
So I just. Oh no, I'm sorry. Keep going.
no, yeah, that's like which is beneficial to any of those who are trying to get like the SRs from Draftbox 5 and not pay an arm and a leg.
Yeah, I just gave down a quick rundown, you know, because I'm trying to save some. You know, if they were trying to look at it, they were looking at it, they didn't get it, now they know.
How
But it
about
leads on to our next topic, though. So
I will say that
Let's move on.
I do want to say in my comments that although a lot of people are 100% going to disagree with me, and that's okay because I do want to feel free what I say, I don't like the idea that people are buying all these cards, and especially that you're wasting all your own money on the fucking special rares. I don't know why you guys want to keep fucking hollow out your decks and stuff. I understand if it's a bit of a secret rare because I know secret rares are very difficult to get, and though like I'd rather spend money on packs to get a chance than just spend like hundreds of dollars just for one card. But like with special rares and everything, I rather just focus on super rares because, you know, I'd rather focus on completing the deck and just get what I can. Doesn't matter if it's hollow or not. I just want to make sure I have all the cards that I need so I can go out in tournaments and just have either a good time or go out and try to win the big one. But I refuse to go with the idea that I just want to hollow out every deck, and the fact that these market prices are just going higher and higher is ridiculous. Now I understand that the decks that people do want to make, it's fine. Like, you know, like what Kiku's going through thanks to Shenron. But still, special rares, guys, just don't even try.
yeah,
It.
and Ape also got bought out. It went from like 40 to 80.
Yeah, but like draft box,
The,
of course,
the
the draft.
two drop?
Yeah, the true drop has always been
Yeah.
it's been like the highest card in the set.
Yeah, it's been like
No,
40, 50.
But it's back up to 80. I just forgot to point that out.
Alright, well that's cool. Oh, didn't the one drop Kid Goku and Dragon Ball 4
Oh
drop
yeah,
both
yeah.
get bought out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the one drop
Oh, yeah,
versions
they
of
did.
Kid Goku and
Thanks,
Four
Veg X.
Stars both got bought out.
Thanks, Black Starter Deck.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You
four
bully.
star ball was 13, and the Kid Goku's like the normal SR was 11, and then they went up all the way to like 35 for Judge or SPR, I forget. But
Well, that's Judge. That's whatever.
Yeah.
but Kevin making a great segue to our next point, and that
Direction
is
of the game.
That's true.
direction of the game, which is great.
Northwest.
That's true. Before we do, I know as people seeing who the fifth person is on the screen, it's Noel. How's your little nap, boy?
You be quiet.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
since you
That
slept
took
through the
too
first,
long.
you pretty
you
much
slept through the first
the
half of this podcast.
you-
It's fine.
You mostly
The
slept-
original Cabana member, Noel.
The man who we all love that's ready for boo. Since you missed all the good points, let's just go ahead and hear your side. What are your thoughts of the black cards in the set, both structure and the booster?
I really like the Veg X deck. I think it looks badass. Definitely my playstyle in terms of aggro. The SR that they showed today. I love that 2-drop. Can't even pronounce his name.
Prohibition.
Yeah, let's just call it Prohibition. That Prohibition card, I think, is freaking disgusting. I think it's definitely like a main 1 in every deck, or main 2 in every deck, depending on what deck you're playing. Most definitely a must-have as a side deck card. And then that 1-drop Toa. I agree that it should have just like negated something, like negate the attack instead of just be like, oh yeah, kind of play drop, grab a card, and you put in stress and put it back into the deck for a little whack or whatever. I also agree with the previous point that was made that Prohibition card is not beginner friendly. It's an SR. It definitely should have been a rare for new players coming in. I don't think that making that an SR and making it hard to pull is very smart by Bandai. Or
Remember,
when set 10 comes out, because people are going to want to find new things to do after all this crazy pandemic COVID-19 stuff passes by. Everything's opening up next week. It would have been smarter for them to make things like this more beginner friendly. People who are getting into the game, so that way they can enjoy the game. Be like, I can't afford this awesome card. It's like $50. I don't want to play this game anymore.
You gotta remember that there's gonna be SRs and SPRs in this box topper, and there's more SRs in the set than we've ever had. Good.
I can't believe there's 23 of them. That's insane.
It still doesn't help. That doesn't help at all. Still.
I mean, we're barely
All
gonna,
right,
The other ones are
we'll
gonna be.
barely get that 2-drop super like as a box top, so we might be getting the Toa, you might get something else,
Yeah,
but that
unless-
2-drop, not really.
I mean, the four
unless-
drop Toa is a promo.
Yeah, unless that Prohibition card is like oh yeah, this is the box topper that you're gonna get the most, then okay, cool, whatever. But I could see them not doing that because it's a freaking SR and they don't want everyone to have it. So again, I don't think it was smart of them to make it such a high rarity card, especially around this time where we're having this pandemic going on and stuff like that. There are definitely less people playing the game now because of it.
Well, you bring up a great point. Since we were just talking about direction of the game, right? And you're talking about all these different points. I'm gonna ask you a question. My question is to you, because I've known, like, you started set 1, and I've been watching you since set 1. I started physically playing into set 1, started set 2. And you could buy whatever you wanted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Price point for the most wasn't a really big deal. Like, you bought what you wanted, you just didn't overly spend, So my question to you is this. Since you're talking about, how we can't get SRs and stuff like that, or it's hard, and people, might nitpick, my question to you is do you think, because of that, if it doesn't really bring down the prices of cards, do you think more people will play casually, or will they stop? Like playing the game altogether.
I think people coming into the game will start playing more casually. And people who have always been hardcore competitive players will most likely just quit the game, in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
So,
we had Sandy here last week. He said he's done. So I mean, you're
Yeah.
not wrong. And he's
Yeah,
traveling from the
there's-
UK to play events.
yeah, that there's like a good example of someone who played competitively and just straight up quit. I And this is, I only feel this way because of the buyouts. I think these buyouts are just straight up ridiculous. Like the Bojack deck, like was bought out, and now it's like somewhat expensive to buy. I think that's just plain.
the SPR, the SR is also got bought out since then.
Yeah, I think that's just plain stupid. Like it was never even a meta deck, and people who like that character are gonna come into the game and see that that character is in the game. There's a full deck for it. Aren't going to be able to play it if they don't have the money to buy the cards. People are just going willy-nilly buying cards out, and it's ridiculous. I'm one of those, like, you've never seen me in the competitive scene, but I like to play competitive. I like to get into the deck. I like to win, just because I don't go to events and see me on stream everywhere and stuff like that. Doesn't mean that I don't like playing competitively, that I just play casually. That's what's very upsetting for me about all these insane buyouts. Like, all the crazy, broken, never defining cards. Pretty cool, I understand, but like, some of these cards that just like, they haven't been doing anything for sets on end, and they're getting bought out. Just plain lunacy to me. It makes me want to quit the game, because I don't like playing casually. I like to play competitive.
Yeah, and that's why I brought you on here, and you're making that point to me, and that's kind of why I wanted to see what you're going to tell me. What is your community in Utah, since you're not here in Miami anymore? What do they think about this? Like, because I know that they're a little bit more on the casual side. Some of them, like, they want to play for fun, make some brews. Like, what do they think? Like,
Yeah,
if they're seeing
I've seen a lot of them complaining, quitting, selling all their stuff. Only the people that actually have money keep up are staying. Even some of those people don't want to play anymore. So like the community is kind of dying, and my community over here is that big as it was when I was back in Maryland with PPG and stuff like that. So I might not even have a community after this because of all these ridiculous buyouts.
Okay.
Like the people that are doing these
So just to kind of like chime in, if you're cool with it, a lot of these buyouts might have to do with the fact that most brick and mortar stores right now are closed due to the pandemic, and they can't buy singles. So like whatever they have now and they're mailing out, that's what they have. So possibly when this is over, like they'll get a restock, the prices might go down. So it might be a better situation. I do agree that it's kind of crazy that people are buying physical cards right now, given that for now to whenever, we won't be having any kind of event that will have more than probably 15 people allowed. Like maybe a local game store will like limit people inside the store. You gotta wear masks, all the stuff that is on the news that I won't get into. But just for like the gaming community itself, so like it's still like older cards are in limited supply and no one's able to like really trade in unless they mail it out, and like that's just kind of a pain.
It is, and especially with like the U.S. trying to open this Monday and everything, like, well, that makes you wonder what like people are gonna do, what game stores are gonna do.
Yeah, like for all like you open Monday, you get a knock on wood. Hopefully there isn't another surge, but you get a surge and they have to go right back to square one because they did it too quick. Exactly. Or I mean, like I hope that it's just like, oh, we're good, like we can go. But like for the direction of the game right now is really like I like the idea of the like Unison Warrior set. Like they're doing something different. It's definitely very unique. The starter decks make it very easy for new players to like jump on board. Like they're
It kind of feels like set 7 when the game was kind of starting all over again in a sense.
yeah, like you had the
And,
starter deck and then you had the expert deck, right? That was set
Yeah.
7 and
Yeah.
8, or
Yeah,
8 and 9.
yeah.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, it was set 7 because that's where you had Kaba and the starter
The
deck
boy.
was, and then the starter deck was I forgot who.
King Vegeta. We don't remember him, but anyway.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
But I'm gonna say this point, since I heard you guys had to mute myself a second. Set 10 promotes fast-pacing, aggressive tempo gameplay, and it's gonna change the way our game is played because they wanted to speed up the game, and they did. These Unisons are dual and triple attackers that can go for game, and they were also granted by the leaders like Vegeta and the Black V leader to give them triple strike and dual and double strike. Here's the thing. I think set 10 is going to be a great set. It's going to power creep the shit out of the draft box and set 9. I mean, outside of Gohan and Boo, but like this. Here's the thing. My worry is that people are still going to play slow because that's like, well, maybe they're a slow player. They want to play a control deck, but like. My worry is like the pacing. They're obviously giving us the tools to play at a faster pacing, and it's up to the player to decide if they want to play at that pace. And that's one thing I'm going to be curious to see if games really will end faster, or if people are just going to still play at a moderate to slow pace.
We're going into like probably like a turn 4, like on average format. That is more geared towards Unison cards than it is towards battle cards. So like a lot of stuff in like this set has to deal with getting rid of battle cards, whether barrier or not, and like the Unisons have no interaction outside of swinging. So it's a faster pace, it's more tempo and everything, but it's not like you ever have that. Oh, this deck can be piloted by a monkey coming out of a coma. Like you actually like the fact that like Unison cards like change the whole landscape. So like you really need to like consider like leaving it on board as opposed to taking life and stuff like that. Like there's more depth to this game now with this new card type. There's more depth. Like I get the power creep thing. It's really annoying. I feel like sets should just support, but like every set comes out with. It's not like Magic. If anyone here has played Magic, it's not like Magic where like there's blocks and like you get cards to a color. Like in Dragon Ball, you get cards to a color that pertain to the leaders that are released in each set, and they want to make the set like attractive and sellable. You can't just like not power creep because then it's like, oh, why are we gonna buy this when we just use the cards in the previous set that are just way better?
Exactly. You don't want to power creep a set that you just one set. Like, I'm playing this deck, I'm enjoying it, having some fun, and nobody's gonna play a deck they don't like, and then all of a sudden a new set comes out, it's obsolete. It's like wasted money and you have to buy it.
Well, like there were decks that survived from set 7. No? Maybe? Probably not. No,
probably not. At this
because Baby came out in set 8, and like you had a couple of stragglers. Like
I mean, Hatchiak is doing well online, so I mean maybe somebody
he's set 8.
Maybe somebody decides to play in real life.
I feel like Hatchiak will be around. Like I could see him using the Shenron Unison and like getting the 3-drop 30k and just like going to work. Like with that, just keep giving him double strike swinging.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, because like Hatch is still, in my opinion, the most frustrating leader to play against. Like I played against Janemba, and like at least Janemba you could kind of like build a board. Like they just negate and combo out, which is kind of annoying. Hatch is just like, oh, okay, I can only swing X times.
So I'm gonna ask you all this question. Are
Pineapple.
you pineapple?
I don't know. I thought you were gonna ask what my favorite fruit was.
No, we're not doing SpongeBob memes here. But anyway, do you think this will help or hurt the game in the long run?
The what?
The buyouts, the power creep, all these different factors.
So like I wouldn't worry too much about the buyout based on like the card selection that is being bought out. Like the pricing, okay, yeah, it's obnoxious, but on the other side is like hobbies cost money, and like these are still short print stuff. Should Bandai produce more? From a consumer perspective, yeah, it would be a lot easier. However, as the company, the less you produce and you sell it all, you make more profit that way. You don't worry about stuff sitting on a shelf and you've basically made nothing. Like you pay production fees and yada yada yada. So like that's like the business standpoint of it. Like I said earlier, I think the buyouts go away once brick and mortar stores open again and they're able to buy people's singles and stuff like that because they'll need them, and like that'll start like at least like the economy in that category of business kind of like circulating again. So I wouldn't say it hurts the game. I mean, like the fact that like it's just power creep after power creep is a little unattractive. But like if they kind of keep with the theme and like the next Unison Warrior set is not, it's like on level with set 10. Like if set 11 is like on par with like the power of set 10, like it should be fine because you can still play the decks from set 10, and then you
that's what they said they were gonna do. They said that for they're doing what were they called again? They're doing season
for the whole
yeah. So it's gonna be like all Unison Warriors. So like we have no idea what the ban list is gonna look like, or restricted list, whatever they're gonna do. So like it could be beneficial.
I can't wait for that.
I just want to see the rest of the set. To be fair,
they better not touch my turtles, bro.
I know. Like,
I mean, we talked about.
I think the game's. I think the game's in a very good spot. Like just as like a whole. Given the circumstance where you can't hold events, but you're still selling products, so you're still making money.
Yeah.
I would appreciate if
certain people are complaining about like certain cards that aren't even that crazy.
You're always gonna get people that like pick and choose certain cards because they see something that other people do. It's just like kind of how it is. I think the pricing should be better though, because like if you're gonna have singles, like if your secondary market's gonna be like somewhat expensive, you should at least kind of give your players a chance to afford the secondary market, even though the company's not in charge of the secondary market.
Give more products and packs as winnings. I mean,
you could also give cash. Bandai is very anti giving away money. I don't know why, but I do understand that like if you promote money for a tournament, you are more inclined to have cheaters at your event.
Kevin, what do you think?
It's for me like I have to like you have to think this through for a minute, but the way you asked that question, I mean I gotta admit, yeah, sometimes like the prices of the cards, like what Joe said, is like, yeah, it's good for players that they get more restocks, but at the same time it hurts the business if like no one's gonna purchase it, and it's gonna hurt them more when they just leave behind. I mean that's what they did with Galactic Battle. They decided is like we're not gonna continue creating more of this set anymore because no one's gonna buy it, and we're tired and these products are just not gonna be sold for a while, especially since they can make newer sets. In a way, if it hurts the game, I wouldn't say it hurts the game. I just think it just hurts people's wallets more, and it hurts like newer players to get a chance to see like how the game is gonna work out for them if they like have no idea what's going on, or how come when they're trying to learn to play this game, why can't they just get a chance to get the cards they need or understand what they're talking about? Sorry if I can like be more descriptive if I can, like what you guys are, because you guys are like
like I want like honest, brutal opinions, and that's why we do this, and it's like it's gonna lead to my next question. I'll just wait for to get Angel's response, but like it's not to give such a long, detailed like complex response. It's to give a good, solid, honest, genuine response. So when people like listen to us, they see we're very passionate about this. It's not something that we do just to like make money or some of us have gone to events. I've been to the Orlando event. Noel went to an event out in I think it was California. I know Joe's been to a couple up in the East Coast. So it's like, like we want to do well, but like at the same time, like we're passionate and we enjoy the game and we just want to see it in a good spot.
Yeah, pretty much the words out of my
So-
mouth.
So Angel, yeah, give me your thoughts on that before I ask my next question.
I think that like anytime I've noticed that when Bandai releases a new set, I always think that they always do a rather good job when they release their cards. Yes, there's power creep in them, but what I've noticed, what they've always done with every set, is that they make it very. To me, it's very beginner friendly with the set because sometimes players, I've done it before. They'll buy if they want to get into the game, they'll buy one box set, and some of the staples that they need for a certain deck is already in that card because they try to build a deck within the set. Like if you were to just pick up the Trunks, sure there are a few staple cards such as Sensu Beans and others, Dimension Magics that you would need, but you have the starter deck and you have the main set, so it really helps out the players.
I mean that the Trunks deck is like the most budget friendly deck of the new set. Actually, because you don't even need Gogeta 7, you could just play the Vegeta package, which the set gives you. So that's a really good response to my next question. Do we think that players will? Because like my biggest gripe when I was playing set 9 and I got a whole bunch of extra bulk, I was trying to make fun decks with like the leaders and just like nothing that was an SR. And I noticed quickly like most decks in that set, you couldn't play without an SR unless you could just make a jank Vivity deck with or a jank Gohan deck and they could probably work. Jiren had it had some functionality, but it wasn't like everything. You couldn't play the boot chain, but like, do you guys think that the player base would just be playing fun decks, casual decks? Like, do you think that they even look at a set and they're like, oh, this SR interests me or this interests me? Because some people just buy things. Oh, I like this. Do we think that people just take a step back, buy the starters, make fun casual decks as opposed to like trying to spend money and trying to go like more competitive?
I feel like that's only new players.
Yes and no. In my opinion, I do think that there's going to be a lot of like a wave of people that are going to try out all this stuff that they want to try out. But I think for this set, we're not going to see that as prominent as we would see in previous sets just because of the whole COVID thing. A lot of people switched to online, and since they have access to all the cards online, they've already been trying out all the jank stuff, and they already know whether it's not going to work or not, so they're not going to really bring it into any locals.
I mean, that's a very good point,
Yeah.
but I was say that's a very good point, but what do we think of the budget player? Is like the other part of the question. Do we
I
think
feel like
they
that
exist?
this game has turned into not budget friendly at all, to be honest.
Like from set 10, like the only thing I could think that's budget is like mono blue Trunks. If you play Vegeta from the starter deck with some cheap blue staples, Gohan. If you had blue in the last set,
Ooh, John.
like there's not that many things like I could say like, oh, I could see somebody playing. I see like Demigron, another deck that doesn't get as much love as it should. But like,
Well, there's the Golden Frieza. I mean, you're gonna
Golden Frieza aggro actually that me and Kevin might put up a profile actually on soon enough that gets 7 swings on turn 2. But
I also want to agree with
that-
Angel said that thanks to since during the whole coronavirus situation and players have been playing online like on Octagon since Untap had that situation where it was lagging, but now it's not lagging anymore. You could just play it on either way. like more players who've been used to like playing the decks online have been more creative, and like they've been so used to like playing the games online, PBG doing their major tournaments on it. I feel like people have like, you know, besides those major players who like were testing their decks and they're playing on the tournaments and hoping that that the decks that have to work out for them, they can go out and just start buying all the cards whatever's left over. I think like they're gonna like either gonna have to see if it's worthwhile to try, because sometimes like it's like an idea you're coming up that you know it's so good and you work it out in your head, and then when you try it out in real life, it may or may not go the way you think, and you have like a 50-50 chance of seeing if you get to see those competitive players again, or like if they could still have the cards. Budget plays, I think that could be an issue, since, you know, like some players don't want to just play like other, you know, besides newer players and casual players, like competitive players, if they can't seem to afford or get the chance to obtain the cards before the buyouts or anything, I think it could be a huge issue for them, because they have to wait a while to see if they have to like see if the cards get lower in price, or if they get more money, or if we're waiting for the next stimulus check so they can purchase the copies of the cards, and for the meantime they have to like struggle and wait for the cards to go down. By then, like the main other players are just gonna have a higher chance of winning tournaments, and they have to wait for until another deck says, oh, we became better than this one, we just came out of nowhere, and by the time that deck wins a tournament or wins a big event, it's now going to be more expensive, and now the cards are going to go a bit higher, which makes the competitive players a little frustrating, and some of them like, well, you don't know if they're going to quit or not, which I don't think they are, but I just think they're just going to be frustrated, and they just don't think it's going to be worth their time anymore.
So my answer to Kevin's point about people having to wait and seeing what's going to happen next is, if you guys play Magic, for people who do play Magic, Wizards of the Coast does this thing every year. Every year they have something called a master set, and they just reprint cards that were high in value and highly competitive throughout that 1 year, so people who didn't get a chance to get their hand on certain cards can. And I understand the game is only like 2 years old, but I think that would help the casual base a lot more, and also help with certain buyouts and stuff like that, because this game's gotten to a point where you can't play theme decks anymore. Like for the casual players, stuff like that. Like even theme decks are expensive because of the competitive scene.
Yeah, cue the Maidens deck from Dropbox 5.
Exactly. I mean, like, look at Maidens. No one fucking plays Maidens, but they're expensive as shit.
Okay. Alright, guys, so if we have any last things to say, because the timer is now up, I know you may have any extra questions, Gio, but let's save them for next week's episode, since we don't want to go over the time limit for the podcast. So,
of course.
So, any last things to say, guys, before we end this podcast?
Next time, don't take so long to rally everyone
I think
up.
Gohan's gonna get kicked out of the meta, but besides that, no.
Don't take so long to rally everyone up, so I don't map through the first half of the podcast, you turds.
That is your fault. We tried waking you up.
We did. We literally did.
And Gio, and remember, you're all the way in Utah, so Gio's not there to wake you up anymore. So you have you gotta be up, or it's too late.
Hey man, do you remember in my old Frieza Universe 7 profile, and also on your channel, but he was laying down on your bed asleep.
Yeah, there's like a mirror of him when I told him don't sleep on my bed, and he fell asleep.
Yeah. So you know, like if there's some pretty, if they want to go back and look, we've been Kevin's been making profiles since that one. He got my Universe 7 Frieza deck when it debuted, and he has my third place Store Championship Gohan deck on there. So we also make some deck profiles and stuff like that. I was talking to him about putting up a set 10 revision of Golden Frieza aggro. So let's see if we can work out something and try to do that.
Okay. Joe, you got any last things to say? Joe?
I'm like that left.
Okay. Okay.
He's taking a siesta like his avatar says.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll see the point. But anyway, guys, we thank you so much for watching episode 2 of this podcast. I do want to thank Angel, Joe, and the late boomer Noel coming in. Thank you so much for coming to the podcast. We hope you guys enjoyed the black set. Great to hear your opinions here in the comment section below. I will post this in the DBS Facebook as well as the WhatsApp. And Gio will send everything to the Discord and the Reddit. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. We'll hope to see you guys in the next DBS podcast. And this is Fortress Striker, signing off.